believe that as a practicing attorney for a decade and a legislator for almost another decade, and the fact that this job is the intersection of politics, policy, and the law, that I have a great deal of experience that makes me well suited. And I think my record is an open book.
I've been on all sides of the courtroom. I was a judge's clerk. I was a prosecutor. I was a U.S. Assistant Attorney General running the tax division at the U.S. Department of Justice. And I've also been a defense attorney for 20 years. You know, if you've just been a prosecutor your whole life, it's hard to see the world from a defense or a defendant's point of view. If you've only been a defense lawyer your whole life, it's very hard to see it from a prosecutor's view. And if you've been neither, good luck in trying to figure out the criminal justice system in the state of California on the fly. Right now, the California Department of Justice is allocated millions of dollars. In fact, the budget for going after these type of guns from prohibited persons has only gone up over the years. I'd spend the money. I'd spend the money wisely. I have no idea why they're not spending every penny that they're getting for this purpose to go get the guns from prohibited persons. Would everyone across the political spectrum appreciate that prohibited persons no longer have a particular gun? Yes.
The brave men and women, agents in our office that are part of these APS teams, go around the state knocking on doors of the individuals who we know have guns and shouldn't have them, and we remove them before someone can be hurt. And that approach is common sense, I believe. It has had bipartisan support, and we believe it is a powerful tool to keep people safe.
I believe fundamentally that crimes have consequences or should have consequences. It doesn't mean, by the way, that everybody needs to be thrown in jail for hundreds of years and lock away, and throw the key away. But crimes have to have consequences, because if you don't have consequences, if you violate our laws in society, you create what I consider to be a spiral of lawlessness. And society starts going down this spiral. And so you got one person stealing stuff from a CVS, 2 people stealing it from a Walgreens, 80 people running out of a Nordstrom's. You got smash and grab robberies, and you got the idea that people can just go ahead and commit crimes of higher and higher degrees because there's no consequences.
2/3 of the nation have higher thresholds, meaning it takes more money to be stolen, more value to be stolen before it becomes a felony. Texas is at like 2,000 or 2,500, for example. It's also important to note misdemeanors are crimes. Misdemeanors are crimes punishable by being put in a locked facility, a jail, for up to a year. And they're also punishable by fines. And if folks are arrested for misdemeanors and prosecuted, there's criminal consequences for them. So it's not true that that you can steal under the law less than $950, and it's not criminal. It is criminal. It's against the law. It's a misdemeanor. I care about housing. I care about tenants. I care about housing production. We wanted to put a stake in the ground, send a message to the state that there are laws in the state of California that are not optional. They must be followed, including by other governments, including cities and counties, who shouldn't be calling themselves wrongfully mountain lion sanctuaries to escape the law. They just shouldn't. Just do it. Act in good faith. Follow the law. The debate is now over. If you had some thoughts on local control, we debated it. We talked about that in committee. We talked about it on the floor. This is what the legislature and the governor decided. It's no longer optional. And so we've encouraged and forced folks to comply with the law. We think that's important.
I wouldn't back off any particular city in this state if, in fact, they've completely forsaken their duty to comply with the state law. But on the other hand, I will absolutely take into account whatever good faith efforts they're willing to put on the table, and certainly work with them to get to a point where they're in compliance with the law. Let me make it very clear what I view the job of the California Attorney General as. I am not a legislator. if I want to go ahead and legislate California policy, I'd run for the state assembly or the state senate or maybe even for the governor. And people who want to use the California Attorney General's office to legislate, people who have no criminal background, for instance, or law enforcement background, like our current Attorney General, and want to learn on the job and pretend that they can understand what's going on with safety and security when you have no personal experience, they should go back to the legislature and legislate.
A critical part of the Attorney General's role is to be the champion for constitutional rights, civil rights, consumer rights, public safety that the people need in the moment that they need you. I believe that if there's something I can do in any space to make a difference, to help somebody to make their lives better, to improve their life circumstances, I should do it. And now I am very hard pressed to ever say I can't do it when I'm leading the largest state department of justice in the nation, $1 billion a year budget, over 5,000 employees, over 1,200 attorneys. Don't tell me there's not someone on our team who can help this person who needs help. We can do it if we try, if we fight, if we push, if we work.